Hola Familia, I am Srijana Uprety, a nutritionist for Comida for Familia. Today I am coming up with new recipe, that is noodle soup. We call it Thukpa in Nepal, and this recipe is very popular in mountain and hilly region of Nepal. For making this recipe, let's go. So before starting chopping off my vegetable and protein, I'm gonna show you here what are the ingredients I have used for my cooking. So I have used whole wheat noodles. For my protein and vegetable, I have used boneless chicken thighs, green peas, and for vegetable, I have used onion, cilantro, tomato, zucchini, ginger, cabbage, bell pepper, and carrot. So now we'll start cutting off our vegetables. For preparing this recipe, we have to boil our noodles. For that, take a pan, fill your pan with water. You can make it half, and then you add some salt and oil in the water so that the noodle doesn't stick with each other. Now I'm starting to cook my noodle soup. The first step you are doing to cook noodle soup is you'll take a whole wheat noodle based on your need. For how much person you are preparing. So I am preparing for 3 person. So I have just done my approximation myself, and this is the noodle that I am using for my recipe. And you can see the water has already started to boil. What you need to do is you need to take a pan and fill your pan half with water and keep your pan for boiling. And once the water is boiling, you just add some noodles. As you can see, I have already kept my noodles. So now I'm gonna add some salt and some oil so that the noodle soup doesn't stick with each other and the noodle becomes very smooth. First thing you do is put your flame or gas in medium heat, and you can see my noodle is boiling very nicely. So to check whether the noodle is done or not, you just need to take out the strip, 1 or 2 noodle strip, and press it with your finger, and if you feel it's softer, then noodle is done. So that's how I check it. So we'll just keep it for boiling for 2 to 3 minutes, and we'll check whether it's soft or not. As you can see, our noodles has already been boiled properly and it looks softer. So earlier I mentioned 2 to 3 minutes, but when I started doing it, it took almost 5 minutes for my noodles to boil properly. And to check whether it's boiled properly or not, you just take one strip of noodles, and use the spoon to see. If you can cut easily, then the noodles is ready. So this is the way to know whether the noodles is cooked properly or not. Now we'll strain the water out of the noodles and keep our noodle aside, and we'll start chopping up our vegetables. Now I'll start cooking the vegetables and chicken. So this is my spice box. I really love this box, and it has turmeric, salt, cumin seed, and cilantro seed blend, cumin seed, fenugreek seed, and red chili powder. 2 to 3 tablespoons of oil. I have used sunflower oil for my cooking, and I'll add some fenugreek and cumin seed. And then after, I'm gonna add my chicken. While adding chicken, be very careful. The oil might splash into your skin, so you have to be very careful. Now when the oil is heated, you can just add the chicken. I have used 1 cup of chicken here. Once the oil is heated, you can add your chicken. I have used 2 cups of chicken here. Now we'll let our chicken cook for a while and make sure you stir properly. Make sure you cook your chicken for 3 to 4 minutes and make sure you stir properly. And the ways of knowing when the chicken is done is you'll see reddish brown color on the chicken. After you see that, you start adding other ingredients. So we'll let it cook for a few minutes. You can see our chicken has been cooked very nicely. Now we'll start adding other ingredients. I'm gonna add some onion and some green chilies and ginger garlic paste. After adding this ingredient, you stir everything very nicely and let them cook for 1 to 2 minutes. And you will know once the onion start to caramelize and start to melt, then we can start adding other ingredients. I'm very excited for today's recipe because it's one of my favorite recipes. Our onion has already caramelized and melted very nicely. Now I'll add 1 teaspoon of turmeric and 1 teaspoon of salt and 1 teaspoon of cumin and cilantro blend. You can see the color looks very nice. And now we'll start adding other ingredients. I'm gonna add some zucchini, some beans, carrot, some tomato, some green beans, some bell pepper, and cabbage. You can see my vegetable and chicken has been cooked very nicely. The colors look so good. There is mixed vegetable and chicken. Now we'll add some water because we are making noodle soup. So for our soup, I'm adding some water. So I have added boiled water because it will be easier and it's faster for cooking. So after adding water, we'll cover our pan with the lid and let it cook for like 5 to 6 minutes. Then our soup will be ready. Now our soup is ready. You can see it looks very nice. The texture and color looks very good. Now we'll add some cilantro and then let it cook for 1 minute and then we'll serve. The recipe is ready. Now I'll serve. I'm really hungry. I'll serve the recipe. Start adding our noodles and then soup. Now after adding soup, we'll garnish with avocado, some lime, some onion, some carrot. I like spicy, so I'm adding some green chili, some cilantro, and some cucumber. Thank you. Finally, my noodle soup is ready. It looks very nutritious, healthy. It is packed with macro and micronutrient, and it's good for lunch, dinner. So the recipe that I made today, it will last for me for 2 days, and it's very healthy. I can't wait to eat. If you like my recipe, please do like, share and subscribe. Thank you.